Coverage begins at 12:30 with Cubs pregame live on NBC Sports Chicago. This is Cubs pregame live, presented by Fields Auto Group.
Well, right now the weather doesn't look real appetizing, but Joe Madden says he thinks we're going to play baseball today on the north side of the city. The 8-5 Braves, the surprisingly disappointing 6-7 Cubs will tee it up at 1:20 at Wrigley Field. And hello, welcome in to Cubs pregame live, presented by the Fields Auto Group with my man David DeJesus. I'm David Kaplan. It seems like we've been talking about it all week, but weather again a factor today. All over baseball, really. Both teams have to play in it, but how much does it affect your preparation if you were in center field today there?
Yeah, it's tough because there's a 20-plus mile-an-hour wind. That's the toughest as an outfielder to know, all right, is the ball going to go straight left? Because sometimes in Wrigley, it could be inning to inning, pitch to pitch sometimes. So you always have to be prepared to just stay behind the ball and just try your best. And this is a communication day. All three outfielders have to be in communication with each other to know that, because sometimes the ball hits straight to center field and it'll end up in right field. So Jason Hayward is expected big day, and it's good to see Almora out there in center field.
Yep.
Give you a day like this.
Your best defensive opportunity in center. Almost time for you to get interactive with our show. Get your mobile, laptop, tablet ready. Head to NBCSportsChicago.com/vote. In a few minutes, we will bring you our live fan vote, and we would love for you to participate. No cost to you. Let's go back to yesterday's game, the balk calling you Darvish in the fifth inning. Do you think, A, it was a balk, and B, do you think it just derailed him?
Yes, it derailed him for sure, because after that, he did make a good pitch against Freeman, but after that, he was just strikes, hits, and it just wasn't himself. But that's a balk because he stopped and he kind of turned his shoulders just a little bit, and that's not a natural motion to home plate. So I know where he's coming at. He does a lot of different stuff on the mound, but that little move is a fake out for a runner.
Right. When you come here, I didn't pitch at that level, but I remember in college they would tell us, if you make the move to home, you cannot look back because you're distracting the runner, making him think you're going to throw to him.
Yeah, it's deception, and that's not legal. And it wasn't even a big move. It was just a little turn like that.
Yeah, the little hitch.
That's all you need, and the umpire was all over it. And when he's all over it and he jumps on top of it, you got to, okay, he saw something and you got to deal with it. But you have to just make a pitch. You made one to Freeman there. You have to be able to put some, get that next out. Right. That's the $100-something million you just gave him. He has to be able, in that situation, put two guys away.
Right. Got to put it away. And then he throws the wild pitch with 2 outs. That gives them, eventually they didn't need any more runs, but then he lets them just blow the thing wide open.
Yeah, knock up the middle. Markakis is a veteran hitter right there. And then Suzuki, guy's been swinging the bat well, but he should not. That should be a wipeout slider right there and put him away. And then you just leave a little hanging slider, 2-1, right down the middle. This can't be, look at this spot. Look at that K-zone, and look at that.
He knew it as soon as he let it go.
Yeah, it's 84, and that's game. At that point, 4-0 seemed like a 10-0 game at that point.
Yeah, that ball was smoked. But again, he let himself get derailed.
Right there. That action afterwards, you know that something's up.
So, not good. Not good. All right, 3 starts. You has an ERA of 6. How would you, if someone said to you, David, your impressions of you, Darvish?
He's okay. It's still early in the season. We talk about that. It seems like it's early, but his stuff is there. 96-mile-an-hour fastball, 89, 91 cutter. He hasn't thrown his changeup that much, and his slider is wipeout slider. So his stuff is there. It's just, where's his confidence at right now? It's not Texas anymore. It's not where you can just bury yourself away and the media just come and shoot you at you once in a while. No, the media's going to keep coming at him because
it's Wrigley,
he's that guy.
And it's the team that's expected to win the World Series, and he's that guy.
And you came in for Arrieta, who was a star for the Cubs. He's a legend. So, he's got shoes to fill. So it's a lot of pressure, too, added on top of just the regular playing pressure.
All right. Kelly Crow, third member of our team, as always, is at Wrigley with our Miller Lite game report. Kelly, another gorgeous day at the ballpark. I'd leave your coat in the car.
Not so much. Mother Nature not at all playing nice. I'm trying to hide here, if you guys can tell, in the new dugouts a little bit under the overhang, but the wind is blowing this very strong mist completely sideways right now. So we're still getting all of this weather, and I'm telling you, there are more people on the concourse right now underneath the roof than there are standing out in the seats. But a lot of people here, the Braves, the Cubs, really wanting to get this one in today. I've actually had the chance as Madden's come out here to take a look. Brandon Hyde just came out here to take a look. The Cubs bench coach and said if they play this, it will be the worst weather he can remember in 4 years of playing here. But here's the deal. Madden will tell you, both teams have to take this field this afternoon.
I don't want to get ahead and be a crybaby about it, but it's just about playing baseball. Baseball is not necessarily designed for this method. And I don't know to what extent maybe in the future they could talk about when, even if it's not actually physically snowing or raining, there might be elements that aren't conducive to playing a legitimate game of baseball. So, and it works for both sides. I mean, listen, we got beat up last night in bad weather by Atlanta, and actually Pittsburgh did the same thing to us. We got them one night; they got us once or twice, actually. But I don't know. It's just something that may have to be discussed in the future.
Well, Madden tinkering a little bit with his lineup today. A late adjustment has Albert Almora Jr. hitting second, and Javier Baez moving up to the 5-hole against Pirates starter Sean Newcomb, who Baez has had some success against in the past. It's a small sample size, but he's 4 for 6 with a homer, 2 RBI, and as Cubs fans have seen, Baez swinging a very hot bat, 4 homers in 2 days against the Pirates, and Madden would like to see him keep producing like that, a little higher in the lineup.
Javi's been hot. I mean, Javi's hitting his homers, and so I want to be able to take, if you put Javi in front of the pitcher right there, he might not get a chance to hit those homers. Actually, Jason's protecting Javi right now a little bit. Today I was trying to do something differently with the lineup, and we're going to try to do that, but Jason's such a great team player. He's not complained or been concerned about that whatsoever. But when Javi's hot, Javi's kind of like this all-or-nothing guy to a certain extent, although he's getting better at controlling his strike zone. When you put him in the 8-hole, you're not as concerned about the strikeout.
Well, I don't care who you are or where you're hitting in the lineup today, guys. It is going to be tough out here with these kind of conditions. We'll obviously keep you posted on any updates weather-wise from out here at Wrigley, but right now we have heard of no delay even to this game, so they're trying to get this one going. I know the weather is supposed to get worse later in the afternoon towards the evening, and one health update to pass along. Anthony Rizzo has been hitting in the cage the last 2 days, guys, and Madden said barring any setback at this point, he should be able to go on Monday against the Cardinals. So that's good news nonetheless, because certainly this weather, not good news. Let's send it back to you in the warm studio, gentlemen.
All right, it is nice and toasty. We're getting burgers for lunch. We're all good here.
We're good.
All right, if it feels like it's been all or nothing for the Cubs so far this season, well, the stats back that up. Take a look at the numbers in wins versus losses. In 6 victories, Cubs are hitting a very solid .295. They average a robust 7.83 runs. Pitchers a dirty ERA of .262. But in 7 losses, the Northside 9 hitting a .182, scoring an awful 1.57 runs per game, and their ERA a bloated .424. So is it too early to worry about consistency, lack of it, or if you were on that team, would you go, hey, Sparky, relax. The weather's been bad. We'll be fine.
Right now, it's relax. That's what I would say.
Sparky.
But it's Sparky, yes. You always have to add that in. But trends are that's what you look at. Look at it, trends right now. And when they have a big game, that's when they score a lot of runs. But like a lot of games after that, they can't put together 2 or 3 hits in a row. It's the strikeout that's a big problem for them. 30% of the time when runners in scoring position, they're striking out, not forcing the team to make a play. So, I've been talking to a lot of fans, and that's their one one worry right now is the offense. Can they continually put runs on the board? But you see it in baseball. The Dodgers aren't scoring. There's plenty of teams. The Washington Nationals aren't scoring.
Yankees have had their moments.
Exactly. So right now it's still early. You're going to tell me the Yankees, you're worried about the Yankees right now? So the Cubs have that type of offense. They just got to get it all going at one time. And Rizzo back in the lineup as well.
Yep, get him healthy and get him back. All right, time for our Miller Lite Cubs fan poll. To vote, visit NBCSportsChicago.com/vote. You do not need a special app. Just visit that website. Get interactive with David and with me. Today's question is, who would you like to see get the most playing time in center field? Would that be Albert Almora Jr. or Ian Happ? NBCSportsChicago.com/vote. And we'll tabulate those up as we go on. You know where I'm going.
I know exactly.
I love that Happ's in left today. Give Schwarber a day off.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Happ could play some second. He could play first. He could play right. He could even play third. But this guy right here, he's the best defensive outfielder other than Jason Hayward. And I like the way the team stacks up. And he had 3 hits the other night.
I mean, there's at some point this season, you got to give the job to one guy. And I want it to be Almora just because that defense. You need the pitching staff right now are being inconsistent, but you want your defense, especially up the middle, catcher, shortstop, second base, center field, to be guys that are gold glovers that can just pick the ball all game long. Albert Almora is that guy. Ian Happ isn't that guy, and he's proven it so far.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I want to see a way to get Happ in the lineup, but I want to use him as a Zobrist-style guy with more power.
Yeah.
But I want the best defensive outfield I can get. And when I've got Hayward and Almora playing right and center, I'm good.
Yes, and I want to see Almora step up against right-handed pitchers. He's got to. For him to continue to be a starter in this league, you've got to hit right-handers. You can't just be a lefty specialist. So that's something he has to work on and get better at too. Because if he doesn't, then it's going to be then you don't know. Is it going to be Happ? You might have to throw Happ in there, but they both have limitations right now. It's going to be who's going to make the adjustment quicker.
Yeah, we'll find out. Let's take a look at Joe Madden's lineup for today's ball game. Happ will lead off, and he will be in left field. Albert Almora Jr. will be in center field. Chris Bryant is at third, hitting in the 3 spot with Rizzo out. Wilson Contreras catches, Zobrist at first, Baez at second, Russell at short, Hayward in right, and Quintana will pitch. So you've got some thunder in the lineup. I mean, Happ, Bryant, Contreras, Baez can all take you deep fairly regularly.
Yeah, today is going to be a tough day. It's going to be line drive day because that wind's blowing straight in.
Put the ball in play.
Keep it on the ground, shoot it through. You never know. But at the bottom of the lineup, you're starting to see those batting average start getting lower and lower. So as a pitcher from the Braves, you're like, all right, if I can get through Contreras, Baez, I feel like I can get some easy outs there. So the Cubs hitters need to battle, stay inside the ball, and just work it up the middle.
All right, let's talk about Wilson Contreras. After starting out the season 2 for 12 for his last 35, his last 9 games. He and Victor Caratini have combined to throw out 4 of 7 base runners attempting to steal. Best success rate by catchers anywhere in the sport.
I mean, that's a heck of a pick right there. Pick and got out of his hands so quick. You don't want to run on this guy. He's more Wilson Contreras. If you're a team facing him, you're more of a hit and run because straight steals, he's going to throw you out. But his bat is still there. I want to see more power from him. You know, they lost. They don't have Rizzo right now, and you see Chris Bryant really is that threat right now. So I'd love to see more pop from him, but his swing is looking great.
All right, let's take a look at the Braves lineup for manager Brian Snitker. Leading off, the second baseman, Ozzie Albies, and this guy's a stud, folks. He was really good yesterday. Dansby Swanson in the 2-hole at short. Freddie Freeman hits third and plays first. Kurt Suzuki, your old teammate, is catching in the 4-hole. Nick Markakis is fifth. Lane Adams is sixth. Charlie Culbertson's at third. He is seventh. Peter Borjos, who went to camp with the Cubs, in center, and Sean Newcomb gets the start. But let's talk about one of the guys that you and I liked a year ago. We like him a lot now, Ozzie Albies.
I mean, he's making a name for himself. Leads the league in extra base hits in the National League. And this guy plays defense, brings that power bat to the lineup in a short stature. This guy isn't a big guy, but he has a lot of thump, and he runs the base as well, too. He's aggressive, and that's what you want as a young Atlanta team, guys that are playing. And you have him and Swanson, second and short, for the future. It seems like these guys are starting to play the game and starting to learn from their successes and non-successes from last year.
All right, we've got to take our first time out of Cubs Pregame Live presented by the Fields Auto Group. When we come back, we'll take a look at the pitching matchup for this afternoon's ball game, and Jose Quintana will look to snap the Cubs' 2-game losing skid. He's coming off a really nice performance last Sunday up in Milwaukee. And it's 34 minutes till the scheduled start of the ball game. Still time for you to give Felco a call. 866-4FEL-DCO, and the tarp coming off the field.
They're playing.
Cubs Pregame Live is presented by Fields Auto Group. Fields matters because you matter. See Fields first. FieldsAuto.com.
At Fields, we're known for our complimentary loaners. Hello, I'm Dan Fields. But now, you can take one home and keep it during our annual loaner sales event.
Going on now at Fields BMW Northfield. Get 0% APR financing on all 2017 loaners for up to 60 months. Over 35 in stock.
Best of all, no matter what you're driving, we have a loaner for you to take home and keep.
During Fields BMW Northfield annual loaner sales event.
Your old heating and cooling system is costing you money. Our preseason air conditioner sale is going on now. Get a free in-home estimate plus same-day installation of a new Lennox air conditioner from $24.95. Furnace and AC combos from $36.95. And receive 0% interest financing for 5 years. Plus, we'll beat any competitor's estimate by up to $500. Call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4Seasons.
Turf napping. Seen it? Covered it. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are. Hold up. Why would anyone steal turf?
Hey, Ricky, do you know why anyone would steal a large patch of turf?
No. No idea.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Here's how Old Dominion puts together a winning performance. It takes precision, like how we're #1 in claims prevention. It takes hustle, like our over 99% on-time rate. And it takes consistently going the distance to earn our fans' loyalty. That's why we're #1 in customer satisfaction. Old Dominion, official freight carrier of Major League Baseball.
I like it sweet.
I like it hot.
Red gravy.
Baptize it.
Make it cheesy.
Make it hurt.
North side.
South side.
There's one thing
both sides agree on. Bona beef.
Bona, the original and most flavorful Italian beef.
When you brew a beer with this much taste, 96 calories seems like a typo. But it's no mistake. It's a small miracle. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true.
Well, they're working on getting the tarp off. Rain is misty, as Kelly told us, and the wind is not fun to play in, but you still got to play baseball. If they say we're playing, you got to come ready to play. Cubs will try and even their record at 7-7. They've had records of 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4, 5-5, and 6-6. They'll try to extend that streak it back to 500 at 7-7 today when they battle the Braves. First pitch with Leonard JD coming up later on here on NBC Sports Chicago. All right, Cubs Pregame Live rolls on, presented by the Fields Auto Group. He's David DeJesus. I'm David Kaplan. Let's take a look at our pitching matchup. It's Bonafide, and it's brought to you by our friends at Bona Beef. Jose Quintana on the bump for the Cubs against Sean Newcomb. Quintana getting his first start at Wrigley this season. He got the win last Sunday in Milwaukee, throwing 6 shutout innings, allowing just 3 hits and striking out 6 along the way.
Yeah, Jose Quintana, it's all about strike one with him, putting it where he wants it. He's a location type of pitcher. If he can set up, he wants to work inside. Let me get that fastball in, get you thinking about that inside pitch, then work in that fastball, cutter, and nice little slow slider off the outside of the plate, and he had all of his stuff working against the Brewers, and he's going to need that today because the weather is not going to be great to be gripping these sliders, throwing those things like that. So
that big
fastball
hook.
Command is going to be big for him.
Huge, absolutely. As for Newcomb, he's 1-1 with a 4.35 ERA in 2 starts so far this season. He faced the Cubs twice last season. 0-2 with a 6.10 earning in a pair of starts. In 10 1/3 innings, he allowed 10 hits, 5 earned, struck out 15. So he has pretty decent stuff.
Yes, he has a nice fastball there. Very similar to Quintana, where he wants to establish that fastball, get ahead strike one, and then mix in that big curveball over top. So it's going to be a fun matchup to see who's going to win out on that command-wise today.
We're going to find out. Cubs bullpen, an ERA of 2.01 this season, 3rd lowest in the National League. And if you take out the awful effort from Justin Wilson the other day, it would be in the 1s, and they would be in the top 2.
Yes, for sure. It's about throwing strikes. Carl Edwards yesterday. Brandon Moore looks great. Steve Cishek as well. Dunsing. These guys have done their job. It's just Justin Wilson needs to just relocate. Hey, let me get that fastball. Work on fastball command because
on the zone.
Seems with him, he just gets in his own head. And next thing you know, once he walks a guy, 3 or more are coming behind it.
Correct.
So he has to be able to self-correct himself pitch to pitch, not appearance to appearance.
Right. You can't go, all right, I had a bad appearance, I'll get there. We need you to fix it
right now.
Not tomorrow, not after breakfast. Now. Need it right now. There's a Shawshank line for you. Anyway, the weather will play a factor today in this ballgame offensively. So do you change your approach as a hitter?
No, I'm a stay up the middle type of guy. I might want to work on top of the ball even more because getting it up underneath it, it's not a great idea because that ball is going to come sailing back in. But it's layering up, too. I'm going to have 3 or 4 layers on, just making sure I'm warm out there.
Face shield, the whole deal.
You'll see a lot of those today.
All right, we have to take a final timeout before we turn it over to Len and JD. Before we get out of here, David will give us his keys to the game. We'll pick our key performers, and still time for you to vote in our poll question. Who do you want to see get the most playing time in center field, Almora or Happ?
Nissan's latest tech surrounds you with peace of mind. The 2018 Nissan Rogue Sport. Featuring rear cross-traffic alert, blind spot warning, and automatic emergency braking that can stop for you. Now standard on the Nissan Rogue family.
Get a low $199 per month lease on Rogue, or get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 9 models.
Now the most exciting tech you own is in your driveway.
We only have 30 seconds to describe the newest specialty flavor in the Signature Crafted Recipes collection by McDonald's, Garlic White Cheddar. It's layered with a slice of smooth, perfectly melty white cheddar cheese, a crunchy medley of tasty, crispy garlic chips, a dramatic drizzle of smooth, delicious, and flavorful, delectably creamy garlic aioli, all come together with a mouth-wateringly juicy tomato slice and crisp iceberg lettuce atop crispy buttermilk chicken on a soft, warm artisan roll. Luckily, you can take all the time you need to savor every bite. The Signature Crafted Recipes collection by McDonald's.
Injuries can happen, whether you're working out or playing sports. At the Amita Health Orthopedics Institute, we understand that you want to return to your active life pain-free. That's why we offer a sports medicine outreach program that connects you to sports medicine doctors, surgeons, specialists, and rehabilitation therapists. To learn more or make an appointment, visit amitahealth.org/ortho or call 844-366-0615. Amita Health, in sickness and in health.
Bigger doesn't mean stronger. Don't be defined by a weight class. Introducing the all-new Terrain, the compact SUV from GMC. Mighty like a pro. The all-new Terrain.
Get over $3,200 purchase allowance on most 2018 Terrain models when you finance through GM Financial. Plus, current non-GM owners get an additional $2,750 purchase cash.
Comcast Xfinity is now the official entertainment and Wi-Fi partner of Wrigley Field and Gallagher Way. So fans here can now access the free Cubs Wi-Fi in and around Wrigley Field.
All right, thanks, Kel. Welcome back to Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. Alongside David DeJesus, I'm David Kaplan. All right, wild play last night in the Marlins game against the Pirates. Bases loaded, former Cubs Starlin Castro at the plate. Watch what happens. He hits a fly ball to right. Gregory Polanco makes the throw home. The throw really not where you want to get it. Up the line, there's the throw. Oops. Into center field it goes. Nobody near it, and all three runners will score.
Did they end up losing that game because of that? I wonder. Oh my goodness, you never see this in the game, and nothing you can say about it. There's nothing you can say. Like, just, hey, Josh Bell, grab that ball right there. The first baseman should have cut that off, knowing that it was offline.
No question about it.
Next thing you know, wow, yeah, you don't see that every day, that's for sure.
Hey, memo to Clint Hurdle. It's not what you call playing the game the right way. Very disappointed in you.
Ooh, nice. Worry about his team, right?
Yeah, you worry about yours. Earlier in the show, we asked you who you'd like to see get the most playing time in center field for the Chicago Cubs. Well, time for the results to our fan poll. Albert Almora Jr. with 41,000 votes on a rainy Saturday. How about that?
Hey, thanks for voting, guys.
Thank you very much for watching. Time for our Fields Auto Group keys to today's ball game. 1, mentally tough.
Yes, this is one of those games where it's cold, rainy, and windy. That's the toughest in baseball. So the mentally tough team is going to win out today because you can go in there and think, all right, I can just give these at-bats away. You know, you can, and everything's all right. You know, it would be okay, all right. It was just cold out. But the mentally tough is going to win today, and you'll see it on display all game.
All right, number 2 is grip it.
It's all about fastball location for the pitchers today. Whoever is able to put that fastball where he wants to more often than not is going to be the winner because it's going to be cold. Gripping that slider, that curveball, is going to break it up. Tough.
All right, quickly, our key performers. You're up 3-1 on the season.
Almora, he's in the lineup. Let's go for him.
Nice.
Let's go.
I'm going to go Chris Bryant. I'm going for the big guns. I got to get this thing reeled back in. All right, for David, I'm Cap. Thanks for our great crew. Thanks for watching Cubs Pregame Live, presented by the Fields Auto Group. We will see you for postgame.
I love Chicago, and I'm so proud to be living in such a great city. I started my own recording studio business 26 years ago. I am the proud owner of Studio 2020 Chicago. I use my phone for everything. With Sprint Unlimited, my business doesn't miss a beat. They have the best price for Unlimited, and the network I can rely on to keep my business going. My neighborhood, my network.
Switch today and get 4 lines for $25 per month per line with a 5th line free. Don't let a 1% difference in network reliability cost you twice as much.
I like it sweet.
I like it hot.
Red gravy.
Baptize it.
Make it cheesy.
Make it hurt.
North side.
South side.
There's one thing
both sides agree on. Bona beef.
Bona, the original and most flavorful Italian beef.
Today, Feldco honors the best of the best, the top of the class, the ultimate in energy efficiency. To celebrate, Feldco is offering 2 windows for the price of 1.
That's right. Get 2 windows for the price of 1 and graduate to higher savings with no interest for 1 year. So what are you waiting for?
2 windows for the price of 1 and soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Not all light beers are created equal. One is brewed with more taste, fewer calories, and half the carbs. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true.
Here's how Old Dominion puts together a winning performance. It takes precision, like how we're #1 in claims prevention. It takes hustle, like our over 99% on-time rate. And it takes consistently going the distance to earn our fans' loyalty. That's why we're #1 in customer satisfaction. Old Dominion, official freight carrier of Major League Baseball.
At Fields, we're known for our complimentary loaners. Hello, I'm Dan Fields. But now, you can take one home and keep it during our annual loaner sales event.
Going on now at Fields BMW Northfield. Get 0% APR financing on all 2017 loaners for up to 60 months. Over 35 in stock.
Best of all, no matter what you're driving, we have a loaner for you to take home and keep.
During Fields BMW Northfield annual loaner sales event.
Welcome to the 2018 Winter Classic as the Chicago Cubs will host the Atlanta Braves. We are going to start on time today, and you see a lot of brave souls out here at the ballpark. Atlanta took game 1 4-0 yesterday. Welcome to Cubs baseball here on NBC Sports Chicago. Jim DeShays, Len Casper with you. Look, the Braves only come here once, so you really need to try to get all these games in. It's not an ideal day, to say the least, weather-wise, but it shouldn't get a lot worse. We're going to start cold and rainy, and it's going to stay that way all day.
You are a glass is half full kind of guy. It's not going to get a lot worse. Well, it's pretty ugly. It's a good day to be a Duck. You know, you started with the Winter Classic. I was going to go with the Winter Olympics and maybe throw it over to the ski hill for moguls. But no, it will be baseball today, and it's a pretty intriguing pitching matchup. A couple of left-handers. Sean Newcomb will go for the Atlanta Braves. Jose Quintana will make his third start for the Cubs. Both coming off outstanding performances. Newcomb at Colorado, 6 shutout innings. He's always a guy that's had control problems, but he didn't walk a man, struck out 9. Quintana, really, he's only had 1 bad inning all year. He gave up 6 runs in his start in Miami. 5 of those came in 1 inning of work. Sunday against the Brewers, 6 shutout innings. Really good stuff from Quintana as he got all of his pitches working, mixing a good curveball, good changeup. Had the Brewer hitters off stride for 6 solid innings of work.
Yeah, he's gotten very comfortable pitching at Miller Park. His last 2 starts there have been electric, and the Cubs need a good start from him today after Yu Darvish struggled yesterday. He's a former White Sox, so pitching in this weather shouldn't be new to him.
Yeah, I imagine he's pitched in this weather on more than a few occasions, and again, on a day like today, it's mind over matter, and as long as a pitcher you can get heated up initially, should be okay.
Ozzie Albies was one of the Braves stars yesterday, off to a great start. He leads the major leagues in extra base hits. Very athletic. He did it all.
Yeah, you know, I mentioned yesterday he reminded me a little bit of Jose Altuve, a little Javi Baez too, just a dynamic young performer, 21 years of age, came to the big leagues last year when he was just 20. He can really run, he's got power, he's a little guy, but he's strong. Couple of doubles, couple of spectacular plays. Check this out, the change of direction. He's just a little dynamo. The Braves are in love with this kid.
And the Braves are getting a lot of contributions from guys who they didn't even know would be on their team this year. Preston Tucker with a 3-run homer in the game yesterday. Ryan Flaherty had a big day at the plate. And Anibal Sanchez got his first win with 6 shutout innings.
Yeah, Anibal Sanchez stepped up in a big way for them yesterday. Braves playing really good baseball right now. They're in this stretch of games against playoff teams, and they're playing winning baseball.
All right, the Cubs try to get back to the 500 mark. They've been 1-1, 2-2, etc., all the way to 6-6. They'll try to get to 7-7 here this afternoon. And when we come back, we'll chat with our Cubs insider, Doug Glanville. His analysis of Yu Darvish coming up.
Want more SUV for your money? Check out Hyundai. A family of distinct SUVs from the brand named lowest 5-year cost to own. And with 7 2018 IIHS top safety picks, all thanks to an assortment of advanced safety features. And all of them are backed by America's best warranty. Hyundai SUVs, a great deal more than just a great deal. Right now, lease a Tucson for $179 a month or get $3,750 total savings on the Santa Fe Sport. Visit buyhyundai.com.
January 21st is Squirrel Appreciation Day, an entire day dedicated to squirrels. That's nuts. At AARP, we think you deserve your own day. Yeah, you. After all, you're the one working and saving for the future. So let AARP help, from planning and budgeting to getting a deal on your next trip. AARP is here to help you stretch your dollar further. Our furry friends will have their day, but today is all yours. Take on today and every day with AARP.
Hands go here. Feet go here. You know what goes here. And your approval rating goes here. Test drive the Z-Track Z540R at your John Deere dealer and learn why it's not how fast you mow. It's how well you mow fast. Nothing runs like a Deere. Save $250 when you test drive and buy a John Deere residential Z540R Z-Track mower.
As long as there is fear, as long as there is curiosity, as long as there are undiscovered corners of the earth, and as long as there is willingness and desire, then you are capable of more. Right now, lease the all-new BMW X3 for as low as $469 a month.
There's a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. We can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible. We're unstoppable.
Life has a million trails. The Jeep Compass was built for all of them.
Well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2018 Jeep Compass for $292 a month with zero due at signing.
Make sure you follow our Cubs Insiders on NBCSportsChicago.com, presented by Nationwide agent Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media. Nationwide is on your side. And our Cubs insider Doug Glanville in the booth here, looking very nice. And
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you might want to grab a ski cap for a little later on today. You Darvish yesterday got off to a good start, and then things kind of unraveled after the balk in the fifth.
Yeah, I mean, there was a sign where you see the two sides to you, Darvish. And this is a guy brought in to be sort of the ace or 1A type pitcher. But you're seeing signs where there's times where his slider is very effective, and it's times that it's not. And let's look at the more effective side. He gets that little backdoor action. Hitters give up on it. It bites back onto the corner. You can even get it where it gets a more downward tilt. They swing over it. So he has that action that it can work very effectively to complement all his pitches, because it has a huge selection of pitches to go with that.
Yeah, he strikes out Freddie Freeman even after the balk. Looks like he's going to get out of the inning, and then he did not record another out.
Absolutely. That was a great pitch to Freeman, but you recognize that that balk in the inning clearly threw him off. The slider now all of a sudden started to flatten out a little bit, and when it flattens, it stays along the plane of the hitter, and their bat, it's almost like it's on a hitting tee. So you think about this slider here, look at that, just flattened out. And when you look at a closer look, you recognize that ball just sort of sits there. Look at this, right there, right through the plane, and boom, just a hitter's dream to see a pitch like that. So he's had these two different sliders. The one that's effective has that bite down like when he struck out Freeman, but it's that lateral one that's really not working well. And a lot of base runners, a lot of walks, and giving up the long ball. So those are bad combinations.
Fastball command has been a big topic for Darvish, and the fastball is electric. He can hit 98. We saw it in his first start, but it's getting that pitch for strikes early in counts, right?
Well, absolutely. And then you saw a sign early on, the first 4 innings, he pitched fairly effectively. But for the most part, his fastball is going to establish these secondary pitches. And he has like 6 pitches to work with. But you saw that once the hitters expected that fastball, they were teeing off on it. You saw Suzuki hit one down the left field. You know, that fastball straightens out because now they're looking for it. And the numbers that speak to it is opponents, when they're ahead in the count, when the hitters have the advantage, they're hitting .412 this year. So they're really waiting for that pitch and not missing it.
All right, stay warm today. We'll chat with you during the game, all right?
All right, Len, thank you.
Doug Glanville, and yeah, the elements today are the story for sure. We're going to send it down to the field now
Ladies
for
and
our
gentlemen,
national
at
anthem.
this time, please rise and kindly remove your caps as this afternoon's colors are presented by the Naval ROTC Unit, University of Notre Dame. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please remain standing and join two-time Emmy-nominated singer, songwriter, and actor, Northwestern alum Bo Davidson, as he honors America with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
These are Midwest companies. Companies that pave roads and build factories and keep promises. They don't want some do-nothing banker. They want momentum makers. Bankers who aren't afraid to get their wingtips dirty, who know what it takes to grow a business from the ground up. That's what builds momentum in the Midwest. The momentum makers of First Midwest Bank.
The Bell Illuminati has something new for the masses. A blend of 3 cheeses melted over seasoned beef, wrapped in a warm tortilla. And it's only $1. It's time to investigate the new $1 triple melt burrito at Taco Bell.
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you. Come in today for great deals during the Outdoor Escape Sale.
It's the one and only Ford Truck Month. The place to find one-of-a-kind deals on Ford F-Series, including Motor Trend's Truck of the Year F-150. With best-in-class towing and torque, these bad boys make the rules and break them. That's why it's America's best-selling truck 41 years straight. But like ribs at a barbecue, these deals won't last long. Ford Truck Month. It's buy now time, partner.
Now get a built Ford Tough F-150 with $10,431 in total savings, or lease for just $229 a month.
I'm very proud of the fact that I serve as a C-130 mechanic in the Corps. So I'm not happy unless my hands are dirty. Between running a business and 4 kids, we're busy. Auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance policies, knowing that USAA will always have my back. That's just one less thing you have to worry about. I couldn't imagine going anywhere else. They're like a friend of the family. We're the Cochran family, and we will be USAA members for life.
Save by bundling USAA home and auto insurance. Get a quote today.
Welcome back here to Wrigley Field with
with your Miller Lite game report. Going to be tough conditions for hitters, for fielders as well today. But certainly Joe Madden doing a little tinkering with the lineup to try and get those bats going. He's moved Javier Baez up into the lineup to 6th. And Jason Hayward will be hitting 8th for the 2nd straight day in a row. But as we know, one thing you can always count on from Jay Hay is that Gold Glove caliber defense. He just received his 5th Gold Glove earlier this week at Wrigley, and for 4 years in a row has ranked towards the top among all players in defensive runs saved, which is a category that he says he takes a lot of pride in.
Two sides of the ball. You know, there's many ways you can win a game and help your team win. And when I'm out there on defense, I just feel like I'm just trying to do my job and do my part in helping the team win. And I feel like you can score 10 runs, but if you give up 11, you know, you're not going to win that game, obviously. And anything you can do to minimize damage on that side of the ball, you can keep momentum on that side of the ball. And I feel like, I don't know if people remember that from that 2016 season. We had great defense.
And to see all this interview with Jason Hayward, be sure and watch the new baseball show dedicated to your teams, Baseball Night in Chicago. Join Ozzie Guillen, David DeJesus, and Layla Rahimi Tuesday at 6:30 on NBC Sports Chicago. Well, here we are, Wrigley Field, the freezing rain spitting sideways still, but I'll tell you what, the Cubs and the Braves want to get this one in. No delay as we approach game time because the weather only getting worse as we go along. But as we head to break, it'll be Jose Quintana making his first start of the season at Wrigley Field, 3rd start of the year. And when we come back, Lynn and JD will have the call right here on NBC Sports Chicago.
He's playing with us.
No. He's trying to tell us something.
Let's see what forensics thinks.
Sorry I'm late. What'd I miss?
Want to get away? Now you can with Southwest fares as low as $49 one way. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency.
Ending hunger is a team sport. My friends at Binny's Beverage Depot donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository every time the Cubs leadoff man gets a hit. Here's a toast to ending hunger in Chicago. Binny's Beverage Depot, family owned since 1948.
Internet and mobile. What if you could get both services for the price of one? Now you can with Xfinity. Get the best in-home Wi-Fi experience, now with even faster speed. Plus, you can add up to 5 lines of unlimited nationwide talk and text with Xfinity Mobile. It's included with your internet, so all you pay for is data. Internet and mobile together, only with Xfinity, not AT&T. Get started with Xfinity Internet for only $19.99 a month for a year, now with even faster speed. Or choose one of our other popular packages, now with even more speed as well. Go online, call, or visit us today.
So what's it gonna be?
I'm not giving you Chewbacca.
Got Han Solo?
Collect all 12 exclusive trading cards and try a new movie-inspired menu only at Denny's. Solo, a Star Wars story, May 25th.
I love Chicago, and I'm so proud to be living in such a great city. I started my own recording studio business 26 years ago. I am the proud owner of Studio 2020 Chicago. I use my phone for everything. With Sprint Unlimited, my business doesn't miss a beat. They have the best price for Unlimited, and the network I can rely on to keep my business going. My neighborhood, my network.
Switch today and get 4 lines for $25 per month per line with a 5th line free. Don't let a 1% difference in network reliability cost you twice as much.
Cubs baseball on NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Ford, who invites you to go further in their fuel-efficient vehicles. Check out our entire lineup at your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Menards, save big money at Menards. And by Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency.
We are just minutes away from the first pitch. And wherever you are, hopefully you're nice and cozy. Got your feet up and ready for some Cubs baseball as Jose Quintana and the Cubs take the field. And they've dropped 3 of the first 4 on this initial homestand of the year, and got to avoid the 3-run homer. The Cubs have allowed a 3-run homer in all 4 games this week. going straight in, and a missed, and it's pretty cold, and Quintana will face the following Braves Southwest starting lineup. Albies, we talked about him off the top. Dansby Swanson off to a terrific start. Freddie Freeman is their best hitter. He didn't do a whole lot yesterday, but you always have to worry about him in their lineup. Suzuki cleaning up, Markakis in right. Lane Adams makes his first start of the year. Charlie Culberson did a lot of damage against the Cubs in the championship series with the Dodgers last year. Borges, the center fielder. Newcomb, the pitcher, bats ninth.
Cubs defensively, initially Albert Almora Jr. was not in the lineup. He's been battling illness the last few days, but apparently talked his way into the lineup, said, I'm good to go, Skip. So he gets a start in center. That moves half over to left. Jason Hayward in his customary position out in right. Bryant, Russell, Baez, Zobrist now on the infield. Wilson Contreras is behind the plate. And our Lexus Experience Amazing starting pitcher for the Cubs here this afternoon is the 29-year-old left-hander Jose Quintana. He's made 2 starts, 1-1 with a .450 earned run average. .2-0 lifetime against the Atlantas. He's made 2 starts against them, last facing Atlanta back in 2016.
Chad Fairchild will call balls and strikes. Estabrook, Marquez, the crew chief, Dreckman are around the bases. Chad Fairchild, a native of Wakeman, Ohio. And they've taken down the team flags on the scoreboard due to the high velocity winds today.
Yeah, gusts expected up to 45-50 miles per hour in the Chicago area this afternoon. So you would think it's going to be tough to hit one out of here. Clubs may be inclined to play a little small ball. You got a wet surface out there. You got to be careful in the outfield not to overplay balls. Approach with caution. Guys that can run a little bit might be thinking about dropping down a bunt. See if they can get somebody to make a mistake throwing a cold, wet ball with cold, wet hands.
So Ozzie Albies will bat right-handed against the southpaw Quintana. And we're underway. And one thing you worry about more than anything is you just want to make sure nobody gets hurt.
38 degrees, I believe, is what Peter Chase just said was the first pitch temperature.
Swing and a miss.
Albies 8 out of 14 as a right-handed batter so far this year. Has a little more pop from the right side than he does as a left-handed batter.
Going out of the Northeast at 24.
Position players love a guy who works quickly on a day like today. See the infielders and outfielders will be out there bouncing around between pitches. They'll have the hand in the back pocket. I imagine most of them have hand warmers in their pockets. This is the day you'd want Mark Burley on the mound.
Get it, throw it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Quintana works quickly. He doesn't mess around.
Turns and fires, and he thought he had him, and it was borderline, but did not get the call from Chad Fairchild.
Well, time to begin lobbying for that one, because that's a big pitch for Quintana. He has a natural cutting action on his fastball, and when he's on his game, he can really drive it to that inside corner, and that opens up a world of possibilities for him.
Fouled back to the screen. Albies being a pest here in the leadoff spot, which is a compliment.
has not taken a walk yet this year.
Pitch number 7 is hit down the left field line. And it's gone. A home run for Ozzie Albies, and it's 1-0 Atlanta.
This kid is out of control. A couple of doubles yesterday. Leads the league in extra base hits. And right down the left field line he goes. Well, wind or no wind, Albies strong enough to knock this one out of here.
Major league leader in extra base hits. That's his 13th already. This is their 14th game.
It's the first home run Quintana has allowed this year.
Swanson cuts and misses.
Yeah, he must have really strong hands, Albies. Again, not a real big guy. He's really put together. It didn't look like a real aggressive swing, did it?
No, it didn't. Quintana starts the afternoon 4 strikeouts away from 1,000 for his career. On the ground to Baez. The blower's out on the outfield grass, trying to dry it as much as possible. The hours leading up to the first pitch. Freddie Freeman. 16 walks, tied for the major league lead with Bryce Harper. He went 1 for 5 yesterday. And he lines to Baez, who leaves his feet to make the grab. And he's going to probably have to change his pants when he goes into the clubhouse. He's just full of mud and slop and all kinds of stuff. Watch when he turns around. You'll get a look at him. Look at the right pant leg. That'll weight you down a little bit.
Yeah, it could be a busy day for the clubhouse guys. Trying to keep everybody dry. Warm-ish.
Suzuki takes a strike. The 0-1. A little low.
Quintana at his best, in, out, up, and down with the fastball. He's been throwing more four-seamers than sinkers here in the early going. He spiked that curveball. And maybe that was the change. His curveball is usually around 75, so I think that was a changeup. Just overthrew it. Here comes a change. Chance to make an adjustment.
Swing and a miss.
Well done. Good work by Contreras there after the bad one. Go ahead and call it again. That's when you're most likely to make the adjustment and throw a good one. Simple change, fading down and away. Perfectly executed to get the swing and miss from Suzuki.
He has run it full. Left-handed hitting Nick Markakis is on deck.
Contreras having a chat with Chad Fairchild back there, discussing the merits of that last pitch. And Fairchild basically telling Contreras, like, I don't want to hear anymore. We're going to have a long day if you keep chirping on these borderline corner calls.
Off delivery. We'll try it again.
forget who it was, and I'm pretty sure I've told this story before. The catcher many, many years ago. He'd been getting it in with the umpire, and the umpire said, "I don't want to hear one more word out of you." So from that point forward, every time he thought the umpire missed the call, he made a tally mark in the dirt. And he did like 4, and then he did the diagonal line through to make the 5. And I think it was on number 5 where the umpire said, "You're gone."
But he didn't say a word.
He didn't say a word.
Ball 4. And we'll bring up Markakis. Ozzie Albies with his 5th home run of the year. That led off the ball game. Swanson grounded out. Freeman lined out. Suzuki with the walk. And a former longtime Oriole.
Albies played 57 games for the Braves last year. 244 plate appearances. I'm guessing he would not be rookie eligible this season, right?
Have to look.
Otherwise, he obviously would be an early candidate.
Should be listed in the stat pack whether he's a rookie or not. I will tell you. 0-2 the count on Markakis. He is not a rookie. All the rookies on their roster are pitchers, 2 of them. Check that. Several, but 2 with at bats. Down the line, not a play. Wind picking up even more, and again blowing straight in from behind that center field scoreboard.
Rookie eligibility. Player shall be considered a rookie unless during a previous season or seasons he has exceeded 130 at-bats or 15 innings pitched in the major leagues or accumulated more than 45 days on the active roster. So that,
I think before September 1st.
Yeah, during the 25-player limit. So,
comes a 1-2 and a base hit into center. Braves offense scoring about 5.5 runs a game. They had that 4-run 5th inning yesterday, and a lot of damage done with 2 outs.
Yeah, and they're scoring all these runs playing in some pretty tough conditions. They're referring to this trip as the Iditarod trip. They've been up in Denver, there in Washington. It was very cold in both of those spots. They ran into Scherzer and Strasburg in Washington. Didn't do much against those 2 guys, but otherwise they've been scoring plenty of runs despite the cold weather.
Now Lane Adams, who spent a little time in the Cubs system 2 years ago at AA and AAA. This is his first start of the year. He's been really good off the bench. 3 for 8 as a pinch hitter with a homer and 4 knocked in. And Adams needs a second. Something in his eye. He was a terrific high school basketball player. He's 6'4". From Red Oak, Oklahoma. He had a 61-point performance. Offered a basketball scholarship, Southwest Missouri State, but signed with Kansas City after being taken in the 13th round back in 2009. You're putting up 61 in a high school game. I'm guessing that was probably 75–80% of that team's points.
Yeah. Unless you're at one of those really little small schools where you only play half court.
Who plays half court?
I think it's girls in real small towns.
They only play half court?
Yeah, because they don't have enough kids. They play
3 on 3?
So 3 kids play offense and 3 play defense.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
So it's a full court.
Yeah, but
only 3 play on each side of the court. Okay. Makes sense. That is a strike. It's 3-1.
Not the start Quintana was hoping for. Giving up 1 couple on base, and he's had to make a lot of pitches.
Driven to center. Almora will make the catch as, boy, that ball, when it was first hit, looked like it would drive, but it started to dip and dive with the wind blowing in. So, boy, the conditions. A big factor today. 1-0 Atlanta. Cubs coming up.
Its technology was engineered to see, with its standard pedestrian detection system and pre-collision system, while its cutting-edge styling was meant to be seen. Experience the 2018 Lexus NX and the NX Hybrid with a class-leading 31 mpg combined estimate.
Lease the 2018 NX 300 all-wheel drive for $339 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
We love getting 11% off everything at Menards, especially when we're taking on big projects like our laundry room. We're saving in every aspect, from the Clearview cabinets down to the Tide detergent. You can get it all in one stop, and the 11% savings keeps us coming back. We saved over $500 on our laundry room, and I can't wait to start our next project.
Your next project starts right now with 11% off everything at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
To be in the Express, you gotta be able to ride. And I mean really ride.
Jack, wait.
Ma, I ain't no boy no more.
You don't know what's out there. It's dangerous.
This is something I have to do, Ma.
But the job only calls to a man who has what it takes.
You take this, and you go west as fast as you can.
Think we'll see him again, Mom?
I reckon.
How can you be so sure?
Because west is that way.
Here's how the Cubs line up, brought to you by Southwest. 13 games in. They've had some big performances, but they've also been shut out on 3 different occasions, including yesterday. Happ, Almora, and Bryant start things. Contreras, Zobrist, Baez in the middle. Russell, Hayward, and Quintana at the bottom. And good news, Anthony Rizzo hopes to be off the DL in a couple of days.
Braves defensively, Adams is in left, Peter Borges, speedster in center, Markakis plays right. Culberson gets a start at third today. Swanson and Albies up the middle. Freddie Freeman really good over there at first base. Kurt Suzuki is behind the plate. Lexus experienced amazing starting pitcher for the Braves here today is a 24-year-old left-hander by the name of Sean Newcomb. Big dude, 6'5", 255. First round pick of the Angels in 2014. Traded over here in the Andrelton Simmons deal.
1-1 on the switch hitting Ian Happ. He's going to play center, but now occupying left with Almora in the lineup. Newcomb is pitching with a pace that would indicate he'd like to get back in the dugout.
Yeah. Got to be feeling good about himself after his last outing against the Rockies. There's a change up there. That was a big pitch for him. Pitch that he's been working on and threw over 30% of the time in that start against the Rocks. So it's fastball, changeup, and curveball for Newcomb. He's faced the Cubs a couple of times and has not had success.
Happ thought it was ball 4.
Wow,
instead
that's going to get the Cubs' attention after Quintana got pinched a couple of times.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. You mentioned on our pregame coverage, Newcomb did not walk anybody in his last start at Colorado. It's the first time in his young major league career, 22nd start. that he did not walk a batter. Actually, 21st start. This is number 22. 1-0 on Almora. High fly deep to left. And gone. We're tied at 1 as Almora talked his way into the lineup. And the Cubs on the board for the first time in the series.
Wind what wind? That's number 1 for Albert Almora Jr. There's a Ford home run replay. One swing of the bat and we are tied. He felt pretty good about it.
Chris Bryant takes a strike. Off to a terrific start. Been on base in 12 of 13 games and on multiple times in 10 different games, including yesterday, a hit and a hit by pitch.
And maybe his most impressive at bat yesterday was a drive to right field on a good fastball out away from him, and he hammered it to right, but Markakis made a play on him. You just tell, seeing the ball well.
Floated into right, it'll drop down. Bryant will try for 2, and he will make it. Maybe a 28 wind chill is exactly what the Cubs offense needed.
A bunch of mutters. A mutter was a mutter. Well, this is a little retribution for the hard contact out yesterday. A little flare turns into a 2-base hit for big number 17.
Ball 1 to Contreras. Laced foul, look out. I'm hearing the state of Iowa had a lot of 6-on-6 years ago, but 3-on-3 on each half of the court. 1-2 to Contreras.
Newcomb is from the Northeast, born in Brockton, Massachusetts. High school in Middleborough, Mass.
Yeah, real good football player.
College
tight end and defensive end.
University of Hartford is where he played his college ball. That's where Jeff Bagwell went to school.
He had considered college football before deciding on baseball instead. And his baseball season in high school began in the gym. As Contreras is out on strikes.
Good hitter at the bottom of the knees. Yeah, probably started in the gym hitting tennis balls.
Right.
And then you graduate to the parking lot with rubber-coated balls. Sooner or later, you get to actually use a real baseball and some green grass.
He admitted the weather made it difficult for him to play a lot of baseball. As a junior, he threw only 20 innings.
That's why pitchers from the cold weather states are less affected than the position players, because even the pitchers in the warm weather can only throw so many innings. So you're not as far behind developmentally, although, probably still a little bit further behind.
Yeah, and you could throw indoors.
Play, yeah,
no deal. Ben Zobrist's next hit will be a milestone. He was sitting on 1,399 for his career. The pitch is low. We'd like to cash in that Bryant double and grab an early lead on a day like this. Favorable count for Ben, the 3-1, and that is ball 4.
Both pitchers really working hard here in the first. Yeah, you never know if the weather deteriorates, right? We might end up playing a short ball game, so take advantage of all these early opportunities.
The other thing you notice, and kudos to the fans who are here today, the game sounds different on a day like this. You know why? Because the ovations are all vocal. You can't hear a lot of clapping because everyone's wearing gloves. I'm serious.
Yeah, that's true.
Sounds more like a December football crowd. One 1-0 on Javier Baez. 4 homers this week, coming in back-to-back games. 4 for 6 with a homer off Newcomb last year. Swing and a miss. Popped up into shallow center. Swanson, the shortstop's calling for it, and that'll do it. Albert Almora Jr. under the weather this week, but in the lineup today. Nice grab in the top of the first. Second batter of the bottom of the first. He goes deep, and it's 1-1.
Here's how Old Dominion puts together a winning performance. It takes precision, like how we're #1 in claims prevention. It takes hustle, like our over 99% on-time rate. And it takes consistently going the distance to earn our fans' loyalty. That's why we're #1 in customer satisfaction. Old Dominion, official freight carrier of Major League Baseball.
Arby's, we have the meats.
This is my Toyota Camry. It comes with Toyota Safety Sense Standard, which means it sometimes has better reflexes than I do. Those same features would cost over $6,895 more in a Nissan Altima. No joke. And that's why I give my Camry 5 stars.
Tested, trusted, Toyota. Get 0.9% APR for 60 months on a new 2018 Camry. Or lease Camry for $199 a month. Find your Toyota at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Not all light beers are created equal. One is brewed with more taste, fewer calories, and half the carbs. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true.
That ball is drilled by Matt Davidson deep to left field and gone.
Wherever you are, you're there. The NBC Sports app, your home for live streaming coverage of the White Sox, all connected by Xfinity.
Welcome back here to Wrigley Field with this Miller Lite game report.
And certainly both the Cubs and Braves battling Mother Nature this afternoon. There have been some funny conversations going on in the dugout that I've overheard. Of course, Almora battling illness all week. But after that home run, guys, joking with teammates, hey, maybe I need to get sick every day. But I think he's feeling a lot better after that one. And then it was a couple of the new relievers who looked at one another and said, as they came out of the dugout into the stairs, the wind, the rain hitting them in the face, and they look around and go, oh my gosh, these fans have to be insanely passionate. So they're seeing this Wrigley faithful, as you were talking about, Len. They're here, they're clapping, they're ready to see their Cubs win a game.
Thank you, Kelly. Stay warm. Stay dry as Charlie Culberson bounces to Bryant. One out here in the Atlanta second inning.
Yeah, you said Almora was under the weather. You got to be really sick to be under this weather.
Peter Borges spent spring training with the Cubs in much warmer climes.
Got a pinch here. Good bunter, good speed.
Born in Park Ridge, went to high school in Scottsdale, Arizona. One missed badly on a curveball, 1-1. Borges had a big game Wednesday in Washington off the bench, came in the 7th, threw out a runner at the plate, had 2 hits, including the game winner in the 12th inning.
Man,
well, that looked good.
He just won't open up that inside corner.
Lined out in the left center. So Borges is on with the pitcher coming up. Newcomb has batted 4 times and has struck out all 4.
He's 1 out of 31 in his career, so probably straight bunt here. It'll take a great bunt to get Borges safely into second with his speed.
Rough Oriole debut for Alex Cobb as the Red Sox lead Baltimore 8-2 in the 5th inning. Cobb could not get out of the 4th. 10 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned. He gave up 2 homers and didn't strike out anybody. Remember, Cobb signed back on March 21st, 4-year contract. He gets the bunt down, and that'll be a sacrifice. 1-3. So it's Albies with 2 outs and a man at second. He led off the game with a home run to left.
Pretty robust slugging percentage, 700 for Albies. 5'8", 155.
Yeah, a slash line of 300, 311, 700 is one you don't see very often.
No. Especially from a guy like this, you just, when you look at him, you go, okay, he's a scrappy little guy. He's going to work his walks, not going to slug a whole lot. And just the opposite, doing all kinds of slugging. He hasn't walked at all yet this year.
Just on a changeup. 2 balls, no strikes. comes Almora, and this one he can't get. Borges scores. Albies racing towards second base, and he's going to make it. Guessing they'll give him a double. I don't think he hesitated as that ball got past Almora. He just kept on running, and it's 2-1 Atlanta.
Yeah, fourth extra base hit for Albies in the series. 2 doubles yesterday, home run, little pop bloop double here today, and boy, that wind blowing in. And so Almora really have to scramble to make a play to end the first inning.
We can ask Doug Glanville later, but might this be the kind of day where the outfielders move in maybe 3 or 4 steps?
Well, it's weird. You know, I would have said initially absolutely, but we've seen 2 balls fly out of the ballpark here, so maybe the big part of the diamond, you know, straightaway center field, opposite field, you shorten up a little bit more and still respect guys with a little pop on the pull side. Yeah, I imagine Doug is just feeling all kinds of empathy for these guys right now.
Got a big piece of Contreras, but he says he's all right. That is a 5th game already for Albies of at least 2 extra base hits. He had 2 doubles yesterday. The Atlanta single season record for such games is 17. He's almost a third of the way to that. Chipper Jones in '99, Javi Lopez in 2003. 1 strike to Swanson. Outside for a ball on a curve.
And I think the real challenge for the outfielders, and it will be for infielders too on pop-ups today, is how gusty the wind is. You know, sometimes it lays down a little bit. Doesn't feel like it's going to be that big of a factor, and then it really kicks up.
Driven out in the left center. More trouble. Albies will score. Swanson to second base with a double. And it's 3-1. We had that note a little earlier graphically. The Braves doing a lot of damage with runners in scoring position. And that continuing here this afternoon.
Swanson, number 1 overall pick in the draft a couple of years back, and struggled last year, ended up back in the minor leagues, but he's off to a great start this season. Freeman hit it on the screws his first time up, but lined out to Baez.
Third ball for ball 1. Quintana 2 starts against the Braves and has won them both. Did not face them last year. And 2-0 to Freeman.
Quintana finished 11-11 last year. He's 1-1 this year. He's 58-58 lifetime.
With an ERA that says he should be a lot better than that.
Yeah, run support was a big part of the narrative with Quintana and his time with the White Sox.
Freeman takes his major league leading 17th walk.
We talked about Freeman yesterday. He's always been a good offensive player. Now he's elite level. Since 2016, OPS trails only. His OPS trails only Trout and Votto.
Suzuki in the start yesterday as well. Tyler Flowers, we mentioned on Friday is on the disabled list. Suzuki missed 5 games early with a right hand injury due to a hit by pitch. And he sends a little floater out into center. It'll drop down. Swanson scores. That's 3 2-out run scoring hits here in the second inning. And that'll bring Jim Hickey to the mound.
Yeah, so, you know, Albies hits a little floater, then Swanson splits the gap. It's enough to drive an outfielder crazy. Another flare here from Suzuki. 6 hits already in the ball game for the Braves, plus a couple of walks. He's recorded 5 outs so far, 2 on line drives and 1 on a sac bunt.
Got any extra paperweight, send them my way.
Yeah. Bit of a challenge today.
Well, it feels like every pitch here early on that has just touched the edge of that box has not gone Quintana's way. We'll battle through that. 1-0 on Markakis. On the ground, Russell to Baez to end the Braves second, but they scored 3 times and they lead early 4-1.
This is the doorway to your dreams, better known as the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event. And through it, you can open new doors to the outdoors with a deal on a Honda Pilot. Oh, look, here's one. It's got room for up to 8. The interior's incredibly roomy. Don't mind if I do.
The Honda Dream Garage Spring Event is on now. Get a great deal on the Pilot, a KBB.com Best Buy for 2018.
The moment you realize you're ready to make dinner, but your oven isn't.
At Lowe's, we have more appliances to choose from, so you'll find the right one at the right price. And we'll deliver it for free.
Spring Black Friday is back at Lowe's with up to $500 off select major appliances.
We came here for the friends, and we got to know the friends of our friends. And we found others just like us. And just like that, we felt a little less alone. But then something happened. We had to deal with spam, false news, and 5 things you won't believe. That's going to change. Because from now on, Facebook is going to show us more from the people we care about most. Because when this place does what it was built for, then we all get a little closer.
Mom, Dad, hi. I had a very minor fender bender tonight in an unreasonably narrow fast food drive-thru lane. But what a powerful life lesson. And don't worry, I have everything handled. I already spoke to our Allstate agent, and I know that we have accident forgiveness, which is so smart on your guys' part. Like the fact that they'll just forgive you.
4 weeks without the car.
Okay, yep, good night.
With accident forgiveness, your rates won't go up just because of an accident. Switching to Allstate is worth it.
4-1 Braves lead, bottom of the second. Everybody is in. Rizzo, Brian, Javi, Kyle, and the rest of the boys are ready for another shot at October Glory. Be a part of it all season long here at Wrigley Field. Tickets are still available for the Cardinals series, which begins this Monday night. Get your tickets now at Cubs.com.
3 half innings of offense in the books and runs in all 3. 4-1 Braves. Ball 1 to Russell, trying to get his homestand going. Just 1 out of 14 this week, and he's still seeking his first home run of the year. Now a favorable count, 2 balls, no strikes. Here comes pitch, missed again.
would promote green light on 3-0, but down 3 runs. Taking all the way. That's probably the right play. Let's hope he throws another one in there like that. The Cubs have been working Russell down and away for the most part.
That is a leadoff walk. Second walk issued early on by Newcomb. Here's Jason Hayward 0 for 2 with a walk yesterday. It's signs from Brian Butterfield at third. Will Venable is over at first. Called strike. Foul strike to make it 0-2. First pitch tomorrow. Cardinals come in Monday for a 3-gamer. Cardinals won again last night, beating Cincinnati. And they've got a 6-1 lead in the 7th inning today.
Yeah, you start to wonder about Brian Price's job security. Not that there were high expectations in Cincinnati, but getting off to this brutal start.
Called strike 3 to get Hayward. And Reds in jeopardy of dropping to 2-12. Join NBC Sports Chicago for a taping of Beer Money presented by Coors Light Monday at 5 at Leader Bar on the corner of Irving Park and Sacramento. Test your sports trivia knowledge and you could win big. Quintana now with a man at first, 1 out. He's got 1 sack bunt so far. 0 for 3 and 3 strikeouts in his first 2 starts. But he swings away and misses. Nationals are 2 games under 500. They've got a 3-2 lead at home against the Rockies in the 6th. And 2 balls and a strike. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
So probably put the bunt on now, see if you can get one down here with 2 strikes.
So Quintana is out. Smart play by Suzuki. Want to make a throw when you don't have to. And that keeps the runner Russell at first base.
Good read by Suzuki on that little pop-up. I think a lot of guys would be inclined to try to grab it right away and make a play. But he made a good read. Now he's checking his scouting report on Ian Happ.
Yeah, a lot of catchers do that now. We believe it all started with David Ross working with Mike Borzello. Swing and a miss by Ian Happ.
I think they've been doing it in the college game for a while.
2. Todd Frazier homered twice last night. The Mets won again, beat the Brewers, and they'll go for 10 in a row tonight. Right field, Markakis hesitated and came in. On the Mets a little later. It is 4-1 Braves after 2.
AT&T gives you more for your thing. You are getting the best, but paying way less thing. Now, get 50% off a smartphone. More for your thing. That's our thing. Visit att.com.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs. I'm attorney Howard Ankin with Cubs great Andre Dawson.
Hard work is the best way to succeed. That's why if you need a lawyer, you need to call my Hawk, Howard.
If you or someone you know needs help with an injury case, call me. 312-6-million. Injury law, made personal.
I bet you wonder what you're gonna see today. I bet you wonder who you get to be today. 'Cause every time you go in, you start again.
Thank you for supporting our mission.
You always amaze me.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Well, the elements today, big factor. Doug Glanville knows all about the wind here, and it depends on left, center, or right on a day like this, doesn't it, Doug?
Well, absolutely, Len. I mean, when you're playing outfield at Wrigley, it's always a challenge, whether you're dealing with the sun, the wind, the brick, the ivy. But the reality is, when you think about Almora hits a ball, and look, he reacts, he knows it. He knows he gets this ball. He didn't have any question the wind would not be a factor. He hits it out. Now, when you flip on the defensive side of the ball, all of a sudden now you have a challenge where you have the ball hit in front of you, and now you have to react differently. So when you move from left to center to right, you recognize that each play is different. So this ball bounces in front of him, he tries to come in, and the ball falls short. So the wind is different in left, center, and right. And as an outfielder, you have to consistently test the elements. And the wind right now is swirling around. We're in the 30s, changing it in each interval. So anytime defensively, you have to always hustle from each ball, back each other up, and certainly rely on each other for communication.
Safe at first is Lane Adams. Doug, hang with us for a second. I want to follow up on that. So Adams with an infield hit.
You got to tread carefully on the wet grass, but he couldn't have rolled it out there any better. Quintana takes charge. It's bang bang at first base. Cubs contemplating a challenge, but looks like we're going to play on. And yeah, indeed, he did beat it.
So Doug, I asked JD earlier about your positioning on a day like this. He mentioned the gusting nature of the wind, but also that the ball is carrying in certain parts of the park. So would you typically play a little closer, especially if you're in center field today?
Well, in center, it turns out just from the evidence, the ball's getting knocked down.
Right.
And Almora's had to make really tough plays, so you tend to cheat in more. And those are the adjustments. But in left field, it's a different story. And that's what makes Wrigley so challenging, because you have the swirl. The flags don't tell that entire story. So each time while you're on the ground, you're always evaluating the conditions. And the other factor is, how is your pitcher going to pitch? Who's at the plate? All those play into the adjustments you make. But it is literally pitch by pitch here, with the way the wind is consistently changing. And it's going to be a challenge for all outfielders today.
Good stuff. Thanks, Doug.
Yeah, all right,
I think Happ a little deeper in left. If you're going to cheat in center, play a little deeper in left, so you have a fighting chance to cut off the alley and maybe bunch from the corners a little bit. I mean, that's the thing about baseball. If you're going to try to take something away, in this case, the blooper to straightaway center field, so you have to make a little bit of a compromise and you give up a little bit more of the line on the pull side. And one of the video board has to have an impact too, right? Knocking that, not knocking that Almora ball down.
I think it does. I think it's really hard to figure out exactly how much that board affects the wind, but it's a pretty big structure. And even before, the video boards were put in here, talking to Billy Williams, and, you keep the ball below the wind. That's what guys used to say. And on any sort of day, even if it's blowing in at 50 miles an hour, if you hit a rocket on a line, you definitely can get it out of here.
Now we saw Schwarber hit one into the wind the other night. Albies hit his ball right down the line here today. Jose Quintana is the ultimate pro, isn't he? Just watch his body language, regardless of how things are going for him. It doesn't change. He's so consistent in his demeanor out there. I mean, he has every reason to be kind of losing his marbles here today with some of the soft contact that's gone against them, the bloopers that have dropped in, the Lane Adams hit here on the swinging bunt. He's been pinched by the home plate umpire on a number of occasions, and it just doesn't ruffle him. Just a pro's pro.
Three and two on Culberson. Fans remember the work he did last year in the NLCS. Corey Seager was injured and not available in that series, and Culberson went 5 for 11 with 3 extra base hits. Runner takes off. That, I believe, is ball 4, however, as the throw gets into center. So 2 on with nobody out, and it'll bring up Borges.
Good job by Javi out there at second base, keeping the phantom tag on to make sure there was no further advance.
And Joe wants to have a quick chat with Chad Fairchild. What do we think that was about? I thought I read his lips about ball 4. But I'm not exactly sure what the question was. We'll find out after the game. Maybe he asked him if he read the Jim Bouton book. Borges probably won't bunt here because the pitcher's on deck unless he tries to bunt for a hit, and then he takes a strike. And we've got early action. Eddie Butler is up in the Cubs bullpen. You know what would have been appropriate today? You're not going to guess because you know how my mind works. Yeah. The Braves should have flown in the Freeze to do his little thing in the 6th inning. What did you call him? The streak?
The streak, yeah. Yeah, so the Braves, they do a thing in their home ballpark now. They have this guy, the Freeze, that he races a fan during the ball game in between innings. The fan gets this huge head start, and then the Freeze, who's a college track star, takes off and almost always beats the fan. I think he's been beaten once or twice.
With an infield hit. Culberson followed with a walk. 2-1 on Borges, the 8-hitter. And a pitch. It's foul.
It's kind of a fun promotion that the Braves have. You know, way back in the day, there was a fellow by the name of Ping Bodie, played for the Yankees, maybe some other clubs back in the early 1900s. At one point was a roommate of Babe Ruth. And he was once part of a pasta eating contest staged between he and an ostrich as part of a promotion Back in the early days of the game, they did some wacky things. Yeah. Apparently, the ostrich passed out after its 11th plate of pasta, and Ping was declared the winner.
Missed inside, and it's full. Don't want to walk him and load him up.
Not a power guy, so you certainly have to be willing to challenge a big part of the zone here. And again, the inside corner not available to Quintana.
Borges strikes out.
Oh, he rang him. I apologize. I didn't see him call him out. I was ready to lose my mind up here.
Yeah, called strike 3. It was not a real emphatic call.
Okay. Yeah, see, he kind of the arm came late.
So that's his first strikeout, and now Newcomb takes strike 1.
It's funny because I'm watching Jose and I'm thinking, man, he's keeping us cool.
Newcomb with a sac bunt in the second. Squares early. 1-1.
Down 3 runs here, you'd love to be aggressive and try to nail a lead runner, but vital that you make sure you get an out. So.
Red hot.
Rizzo not in the lineup. You don't have the ultimate bunt defender out there.
So the red hot Albies is on deck. So Brian Snitker just doesn't want Newcomb to hit into a double play. I mean, this is really, for the Braves, they strike out way better than a double play. Pulled the bat back and took ball 2. Zobrist way in. Ball 3.
Yeah, now it gets to be a little mental for Quintana. His job throughout this sequence is to make sure he throws a strike, let him get the bunt down, get it out, and move on. But having a hard time consistently finding the zone. And again, as we talked about all the issues with outfield play here, when the wind is blowing this hard, it's hard to pitch. It's hard to have feel. And he just tried to guide that one up there.
So Albies already with a homer and an RBI double. And the bases are loaded here with 1 out, and here comes Joe. And that's it. He's going to make a change here in the 3rd inning. Going to turn him around. Eddie Butler will come in. Albies will bat left-handed. It's 4-1 Atlanta in the 3rd. We'll be back.
How do you become America's best-selling brand? You offer cars designed to amaze. Like Fusion, that practically parks itself. Who couldn't use that? And Fusion helps keep you in control when the weather turns bad. Tech that amazes. Tech you want. That's Ford. And that's how you become America's best-selling brand. Now get a 2018 Fusion with 0% financing for 72 months. Only at your local Ford store.
AT&T gives you more for your thing. Your beating the system thing. Life hack your way to lunch on the house thing. That promo code, coupon code, why pay when you don't have to thing. Wait, what? Free home internet from AT&T? Who knew that was a thing? Switch to an unlimited plan and get free home internet. More for your thing. That's our thing.
I love Chicago, and I'm so proud to be living in such a great city. I started my own recording studio business 26 years ago. I am the proud owner of Studio 2020 Chicago. I use my phone for everything. With Sprint Unlimited, my business doesn't miss a beat. They have the best price for Unlimited and the network I can rely on to keep my business going. My neighborhood, my network.
Switch today and get 4 lines for $25 per month per line with a 5th line free. Don't let a 1% difference in network reliability cost you twice as much.